A fabulous hump day so far. I've actually not been live in a really long time, and sorry about that, because I actually really like doing stuff like this, and just sharing value, sharing what I'm learning, all that kind of stuff. And I was watching a masterclass last night and a bit this morning. I finished it today, and I found it so powerful, and I learned a lot from it. And one of the best ways to really solidify what you've learned is by teaching. So it's a little bit selfish, but also I think that a lot of other people get value from what I've learned. So the masterclass was all about how to be more consistent. And let's just talk about consistency for a second, because every goal you want to achieve in any area of your life all comes down to consistent action towards it. So if you are wanting to be healthier, it depends on applying consistent healthy habits, drinking the water, eating the fruits and veggies, having the balanced meals, going for the walk, doing all of those things consistently over time. If you want to have a better relationship, it's being more consistent with the little things, like doing things for each other, having date nights, talking about things, all of this sort of stuff, again, consistently over time. If you're trying to build your business, for example, if you're in network marketing, it's having consistent conversations. So consistency is the cornerstone to anything that you want to achieve in your life. So consistency is basically the name of the game. So now we've got that out of the way, I just wanted to share a couple of the points that I learned yesterday about how you can become more consistent and apply this to whatever it is that your goal is. It's kind of, you can apply it to anything. So basically you need to make these actions, and here's the thing, whatever your goal is, you already know what you need to do to get there. You know the actions you need to take, you know the things you need to do. But that's not the problem. The problem is doing those things consistently. And so you need to create these habits so that they are just like, they're just not even optional. It's so important that it just happens, right? And so he was talking, and by the way, I got this from Ray Higdon. I want to give him some credit, because that's where I learned it, and that's the right thing to do. So the first section he talked about was the pain. So and this was very well timed, and probably this is not what you're gonna think I'm gonna say. By the way, I can't see any comments or anything, so if you're commenting and stuff, sorry, I can't see it. First question to ask yourself is, who wins if you don't hit your goals? So all those people that have said you can't do it, that have doubted you, that are waiting for you to fail, that have said the stuff behind your back that it will never work, whatever it might be, your doubters, your naysayers, your haters, whatever, all these people that have said you won't be able to change your habits, you won't be able to quit drinking, you won't be able to be successful in that business, you won't be able to do XYZ. So think about who wins if you don't hit your goals. And that one got me really fired up, because there were some names that came into my head and I was like, there's no way I'm letting those people win. And he said he liked to make Haterade his Gatorade, which is like an American energy thing. So who wins if you don't hit your goals? And who loses if you don't hit your goals? So as an example, let's use the health example, right? Who loses if you don't hit your goals? Well, what will it mean to you if you hit your goals? Will you be a happier person? Will you be more of a joy to be around? Will you be more confident? Is that going to be better for your relationship? Is it going to be better for your children? Is it going to be better for your friends? Is it going to be better for your colleagues, because you're going to be able to perform better, because whatever, you've got more energy, right? So who loses if you don't hit your goals? And if it's that you're building your business, who loses if you don't hit your goals? So for example, some of the ones that I wrote down were my team. If I don't really show up every single day in the way that I know that I can, my team are going to lose, because even though it's down to them, it's up to me to set the example. My future kids are going to lose, because the life that I want to create for myself and my family is not possible if I don't show up consistently every single day and do those things that I know I need to do, and so on, right? You get the idea. And then another thing that he said was, and this is for any parents that are watching this, and I just thought about my future children. So if you don't have kids, think about your future children, or just think about anyone that's close to you, right? What are your current habits teaching your kids? And he said something that was so powerful, and I want to share it with you, because he was basically like, one of the worst things that you can do is talk about your goals and talk about all these things that you want and set the expectations and set the standards up here, but your actions are here. And the bigger your goals and the bigger you set the standards and stuff, and the lower your action, the more of a problem that becomes, because you've got that gap. And then that's the example that you are setting to those around you, to your children, to whoever, that it's okay to talk about all of this stuff and not do anything about it. Thought that was powerful. Bear with. Yeah. And then also, from a business perspective, or if you work in sales or whatever, who needs what you have right now? And if you don't have the courage to share what it is that you do, to reach out to those people, to talk about the things that you know can make a difference in someone's life, that's really painful, because that person will never know about the opportunity that you have, the product that you have that can solve that problem for them, etc., right? So yeah, so what is the pain that comes from you not doing those things consistently? So that's section 1. Section 2 is much nicer, a lot lighter, and this is focusing on the pleasure side of things. So if you do like hit your goals, what would that mean? So for example, if you really focus on building your business, right? What jobs do you help make or create a demand for if you become successful? So here's some examples, right? I'm a foodie. I love going to nice restaurants and stuff. So the more successful I become, and the more dinners I go out for, and the more restaurants I go to, the more that contributes to the economy in a way that it creates those jobs for waiters and waitresses and restaurant owners and all this kind of stuff. Then think about, what would you do for your family members? So if you can continue to keep showing up and you create this incredible income, you generate an extra money, you're building a successful business, what would that do for your family members? And that could be your children, that could be what you want to be able to do for your partner, for your best friends, for your parents. Maybe when they're older, you want to be able to take care of them and make sure that they're well looked after and all this kind of stuff. How would your kids or future kids or whoever, if you don't want kids, that's fine, but how would the people around you benefit? Would you be able to show them a different kind of life? Would you be able to create more memories with them if you succeed at this thing that you want to do? What charities could you help? How could you contribute more to organisations that make the world a better place, and all of this kind of stuff? So what pleasure can come from you showing up consistently to achieve that goal? And then one of the last sections, which I loved, this is probably one of my favourite parts, and this is something I'm really going to drill into later, like for my own self, and that's the future version of you. Like, if you consistently show up and you consistently do these things every day, you will become a different person. And no matter what the goal is, whether that's building a business, whether that is getting healthier, whatever it might be, you will become a different version of yourself in the future. So who will you inspire by stepping into that, by showing up consistently every day? And who will be saying that you changed their life? And I've got goosebumps from saying that. So, for example, if you're in network marketing, if you're building a business and you reach out to that person and you had that courage in that moment to reach out and just be like, listen, I don't know if this is going to be for you or not, But I'm looking to help people make some extra income from home, especially now. Like, it will make the world of difference to people. What about in 5 years' time, when that person has gone on to, they started by generating a few extra £100 a month, and then after 2 years they managed to leave their full-time job and be more present with their family and pay off all of their debts, and then they pay off their mortgage early, and then they start travelling more, and then they're creating these memories and these experiences, and they go on to absolutely transform their whole entire life and impact thousands of people. And it was because you had the courage in that moment to have that conversation. So who will you inspire by becoming that version of yourself? And who will be saying that you changed their life? Like, oh, goosebumps, makes me really emotional. Who will you make proud? Who are going to be those people that when you become that future version of yourself, because you've shown up so consistently and you've done all of those things, even when you didn't want to do it, because we don't always feel like doing the things that we know we should do to get us where we want to. Who's going to be like, do you know what? I'm so proud of you. And so, for example, like, I think about what my family will say to me, what my friends will say to me, what Jack will say to me when I'm on stage and I'm getting my president's team pin and all that kind of stuff. So just like go there in your mind. Who's going to be so proud of you for doing the work and showing up consistently and reaching that goal, whatever that might be for you? Who will thank you, and what will that look like? Like I said earlier, who will you inspire? And what are the 5 traits of the future you? So let's use the health example, right? The future you could be full of energy, feeling confident and sexy, like always running around with their kids because they've got the extra energy. Like, think of the 5 traits of the future you, and then ask yourself in every moment, with every decision you have to make, and choose, sorry about the noisy road, choose to show up in the way that future version of you would. So on those days where you wake up and you're like, oh, do you know what? I just can't be bothered to do my HIIT workout this morning. Ask yourself, what would the future version of me do right now? The future version of me that is where I want to be. Would they do the HIIT workout? Yeah, they definitely would, no question. Okay, I'm going to go and smash out 10 minutes then. Or, I just want to order the takeaway today. I can't be bothered to cook, even though I've already got all of the ingredients in the fridge. I just can't be bothered. What would the future version of me that's really healthy do? They'd probably just cook the meal. So you cook the meal and just start showing up little by little as that future version of you, and just watch how your life starts to transform, how you start to feel a bit different, how you start to see the results happen, etc. And then the final thing is plan. So create triggers. And a really good way to do this is link it to your thoughts. So every time you have a thought that's like, let's use the health example again. I just feel like it's applicable to everyone, so it's a good one to use. If I think about how, and not me personally because I'm past this, but I know this is a problem for a lot of people, about how I hate my body. That is a trigger to take an action to move you towards your goal. So instead of sitting there in self-pity and being like, oh, I don't like what I look like, or oh, I hate how tired I am, or whatever, go do 10 star jumps, go drink a glass of water, go and have a healthy snack, go for a walk around the block. Go use that thought, that negative thought that's going to prevent you from getting where you want to be, to take action. And even if it's just something small, go do 5 sit-ups or something, right? Run up and down the stairs. Use the negative thought to force you into a quick action. And what you'll find is the thoughts will become less, and your progress will be better, because you're interrupting that thought pattern where you're self-sabotaging yourself, and you're swapping it for a positive action towards what it is that you actually want. So that I thought was really, really powerful. Again, if you're building a business or something like that, if you're currently like, oh, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere, or oh, I can't do this or whatever, but reach out to someone. Go and share something on your social media if that's how you're building your business. Go and follow up with someone. Go and take an action. Go and listen to a training that's going to